Hello everyone, today I'm here to review a book for you, and that is going to be Confess by Colleen Hoover. I'm filming this right now. It's about a month ahead of its release, and I've already finished it. I was actually sent an email by the publisher, Atria Books, which is right here, like a blog tour thing. You can sign up, and if they pick you, they will send you an e-arc of the book, which I happen to get, and then they also decided to send me a physical copy like a week later. But anyway, I finished it in ebook, and I thought I'd do a review for it. Like I said, I'm part of the blog tour, so check my link out down below for that, and check out my blog. It doesn't get enough love because I worked my butt off on that drink, so check it out, please. Anyway, this was my third Colleen Hoover book. I think I have read Maybe Someday, which I might be the only one that was okay with that book. I have read Never Never, which I adored, and I have read Confess, and I really like this one, I have to say. I think my favorite Colleen Hoover right now is Never Never, which is odd, but I think Confess would come right behind that. Auburn Reed has lost everything important to her. In her fight to rebuild her shattered life, she has set her goals in sight, and there is no room for mistakes. But when she walks into a Dallas art studio in search of a job, she doesn't expect to find a deep attraction to the enigmatic artist who works there, Owen Gentry. For once, Auburn takes a chance and puts her heart in control when discovers that Owen is keeping a major secret from her from coming out. The magnitude of his past threatens to destroy everything Auburn loves most, and the only way to get her life back on track is to cut Owen out of it. To save their relationship, all Owen needs to do is confess. But in this case, the confession can be much more destructive than the actual sin. So that's basically what it's about. It's about this artist guy named Owen who meets Auburn, and then they start, a love, but then she realizes that his past and his entanglement with the people in her life is really messing up what she wants to do. Now, overall, I will say this is a good book. I think that things could have been handled better between the two main characters. Then again, it was a rough spot for them to do what they wanted to do, but things could have been handled a little bit better. But life is messy. People don't sometimes do the things they should to get outcome from it, honestly. But overall, yeah. I will spoil this, so I'll let you know. I don't know. I should probably start spoiling soon. Anyway, if I could give this book a rating, I would give it a 4 out of 5. I really liked it. There were some quirks, like I said, that I didn't really enjoy, like the whole, they could have figured it out sooner, they could have, done something about it. But overall, I really liked it. I will say, Colleen Hoover is quickly going up on one of my favorite authors, especially new adult authors, so definitely check it out because I really liked it. And plus, what's cool about this book is it wasn't in the ebooks. Because Owen is a painter, and whenever there was a painting that was talking about the ebook, it said image to come, so I was like, I don't know what this image looks like, but anyway, there are some cool images of paintings in his book, and these are in color, so it's really, really unique, and the paintings are really interesting, honestly. They're super interesting. Hopefully you can see them. Definitely check that out and I think they're scattered throughout the book where they talk about them in order, so check that out for sure. So without going into spoilers, I'll just tell you quickly about the characters. Auburn it starts in the book a very, very sad event in her life, and she has moved to Dallas, Texas to it seems like in the book, to restart her life, to get things on track, and she's there for a particular reason, and she doesn't really want to move to Dallas. She's not happy about it, and you don't figure out why until later in the book. Auburn's a very sweet girl. She's a loner. She keeps to herself a lot. She doesn't really want to fall in love again because of the events that happened to her. Like I said, I don't want to spoil it, even though it's the very beginning of the book. But she's sweet. She's feisty, kind of, and I did like Auburn. Owen, on the other hand, I did like him. He is an artist, pretty much, like it says. He has his own studio, and what he does is it's called Confess's studio and people put confessions through the slot in his studio, anonymous confessions, like it could be, I eat 10 pizzas a day and I don't tell anybody, and you put it through the slot or whatever, or any kind of confession at all. And he will paint the confessions, and then once a month he has an art show where he will put the paintings up and put the confession underneath it, and people can buy them and all that kind of stuff, which is kind of interesting. It reminds me, I don't know if you've heard of this thing called Post Secret. Pretty much people send in these secrets, write them on postcards, and they don't put a return address, and they just put them in the mail, and they make these books of just full of secrets, and some of them are really, really insane. You're just like, wow, and some of them are kind of, light, like I eat 10 pizzas a day, or, I tell people I'm 20 and I'm really 50, I don't know, stuff like that. And there's the real serious ones, So it really reminded me of that, and so what he does, like I said, he turns them into paintings, and then people buy them. And it's a very, very cool aspect. I did like Owen. Owen, from the get-go, says, he's been in a lot of relationships. He puts his work over his girlfriends, it seems. And yeah, I like the relationship between Owen and Auburn. I learned that new adult books don't waste any time getting into the romance. Like, I notice a lot of contemporaries, like, you'll read the bulk of the book, which is like, you know, let's say this much of the book right here, and it's about them getting together, and you get this little sliver of them together. And new adult, honestly, you get maybe like this much of the building up, and then the rest of it's together. So I do like that about new adult, but then I don't. So I have a weird mix about it, I guess. I complain when it's too long for romance, and I complain when it's too little of a romance. I don't know what it is. That's all I'm going to tell you without spoiling you. I will say this is a good book. If you've read Colleen Hoover, I'm sure you will love this one. If you haven't read Colleen Hoover, I think this is a great one to start with. I don't know. I'm not a Colleen Hoover expert by any means at all. Lots of spoilers, so if you haven't read this book, do not watch any further. So, the whole kind of big secret that the reason why Auburn is in Texas is because she has a son. She has a son with her boyfriend that died. I forget his name. So she got pregnant right after he died, pretty much, and she had a son, and then she moved in with her boyfriend's mom and his brother, and they raised the baby there and stuff like that. And her parents really weren't much involved, which saddens me. And then the mother decided to up and move to Texas to be closer to her son, her living son, because her husband died. So Auburn really didn't have a choice because her boyfriend's father had full custody of him, and she wasn't really aware of all the ramifications that would happen. I really just liked how Lydia was in the book. She just really wanted to make the decision, Auburn, and didn't let her be mother. And that was really, really tough, because as a mother myself, the thought of someone else coming in and just taking my son and letting me have no say, involvement in it, makes me really, really sad, but it also makes me more upset. Like, it would piss me off greatly. Like, I could understand if I had things wrong with me, or if I really wasn't able to take care of my son, but Auburn is fully capable. She has a good head on her shoulders. She's a great mother, so it really sucks, her situation, and she really couldn't help it, you know? She was young. She wasn't thinking. She just thought what would be best for her son at the time, and it was, but then later down the road, Lydia used it against her, and I really hated that Lydia did that, because I think there's a lot of situations out there in life where that happens, and it just makes me upset that moms don't get to be with their children when they should, when they're fully capable and they can provide for them and they can love them. It's just, and then Trey is her ex-boyfriend's, whatever you want to call him, his brother. And at first you think Trey's a good guy, and then you learn that he's a complete dick, and he should not be trusted, and he's a cop, and he's just a shady cop, and maybe he's not shady altogether, but he's got like this anger side and this wanting to control Auburn side and wanting to have his brother's girlfriend. Like, that is weird. I would not. What? Like, I don't understand how that happens. Like, my brother was in love with her, so I think I'm gonna love her too. Like, yeah, he just wanted to control her. He wanted to make sure she was his and his alone, and that was really, really creepy. It was a scary part of the book, and it sucks because Auburn had to, you know, be with Trey and pretend to love him so she can get closer to her son. And it's just, Auburn was in a real sticky situation. Throughout the whole book, I was like, she can get out of this. But I'm like, you know what? If I was in her shoes, I would be doing the same thing. If the predicament had happened to me, I'd be like, I'm going to have to just stick this out because I need to be close to my son, and I'm going to do whatever it takes to be close to him, no matter what relationships I have to cut, no matter what relationships I have to fake. I just need to be near my son. So it's like, I didn't like it, but I completely understood it, if that makes any sense. And then we have Owen. Owen was, I liked him. His situation, I think, he could have handled it a lot better. I understand it was his father. And what really upset me is that Owen did feel guilty because his mother and his sibling died. I understand that, but I think in course of that, because of that happened, and his father lived, he just feels like he owes so much to his father. So whenever his father's in trouble, he takes the blame for it. Those pills thing. I understood it, but I just did not like it at all. I felt like he could have prevented that completely, because yes, it would have ruined his father's career, but his father has had a full life. His father is a father. He should be taking care of his son. He should be like, no, son, this is my mistake. You need to live your life. You know, you're young. You've got a lot of things ahead of you, you know. I'm not saying that his father should just went to jail, but his father should have been a father and stepped up, which he finally did at the end of the book, but I thought that situation could have been handled a lot better. This book was good. It was very fast. It was very, you know, up and down, because they couldn't be together, then they could, and they couldn't. It was just very, it was a very intense-filled book, I will say, because there were several situations I was like, I thought, oh crap, the crap started hit the fan, literally. It was intense. I flew through this book, I will say. Like I said, I really enjoyed it. I gave it 4 out of 5, and yeah, this This and Never Never has really sparked my interest to read Colleen Hoover. The review I did Never Never, a lot of people said to read her Slammed series as well as Hopeless, or is that in the same series? I'm not sure, but I do plan to read those very, very soon. And yes, if you have read Confess, please let me know what you thought of it down below. Like I said, definitely check it out because it's very unique. You know, it's got the whole pictures in it, like her maybe someday had a playlist in it. So yeah. Anyway, that is all for me, and I will talk to you guys later.